Buhay everyone, MARKCHES here. Welcome to the channel, and for today's video, I'll be giving you my performance review of the all-new JB2 or the Jimmy Butler 2. Let's go. This is actually, I think this is the Love or Cure colorway because there's a ribbon here, so it's mostly because of the Cancer colorway that you can find in the Unpearl colorway of the KDs, and also there's a Cure colorway from Series Player only. The Player 1 Plus also had this logo. It's for the cancer survivors, or it's a tribute to all those who are battling cancer in your family, in your loved ones. So it's a tribute, this colorway, this pink colorway, and mostly the pink colorways that are coming out with this cancer colorway is really dope. And this is one of the nicer colorway or clean colorway of the JB2 in my opinion. So this is from Li-Ning, if you are not too familiar. So Jimmy Butler is signed with Li-Ning, and this is his second signature sneaker, and I actually have two Jimmy Butler ones, and I love playing with them, especially if you're someone who likes to run up and down the floor a lot and you want that springiness and that speed on a sneaker. The Butler one is a must-have. And do the JB2 work the same as the JB1? Let's find out. Let's start off first with the upper of the JB2. So you can see here, it's kind of different from the JB1. This has a more fabric feel to the upper from the tip of the toe. So it's a lot softer because there's a lot of fusing on the JB1. And they are calling this the boom fibers. So typically, I think they made use of the same fiber that is found in the cushion of the JB1 and the JB2. It's a full-length boom cushion for the JB2, which we'll be talking about later. But what they call this one is the boom fiber, and in terms of performance, they're actually good. They don't need any breaking time, but the only thing that I'm cautious for those who are heavier guards, heavier players who step a lot on their side. Because if you see Jimmy Butler, he's really thin. He's not that powerful player. He's more of a very finesse guard playing style. So for all of you who are really stepping on your feet a lot, this won't be for you, sadly, because of the upper is a little bit flimsy in my opinion for those heavy steppers. But if you're a guard who is playing with a finesse style and just quick on the floor and very shifty but not as a heavy stepper, because me actually, for example, I'm not that heavy of a stepper, but I'm not the lightest one too. And with the upper of the JB, I didn't feel that much secure in terms of lateral support. The only thing that will keep you locked down are this midfoot strap. You can see this pink straps here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that will hold you to the ground. But on the toe area, there's an underlining fabric here, which is also pink. You can see this line. So what I was experiencing when I was doing some like a step back move is my foot, my small toes are kind of pushing here on the lateral forefoot part. So it's hitting my toes around this area on the right side. So it has some discomfort because I'm sliding a bit inside the sneaker because of how stretchy the materials are. But I wouldn't slide off the footbed, but it doesn't have that very secure feel like in other sneakers. So it really depends on your play style. So if your style is just very finesse, I think you won't have a problem with the upper of the JB2. But if you're, like I said, a heavy stepper, a bigger guy, I wouldn't recommend it that much. As for the lacing system of the JB2, it has a very nice or speed lacing style. So just pull it if you want to tighten it, and it's very easy to loosen it up. So it comes in those loops, and those loops are kind of attached on the straps, both on the lateral and medial part of the sneaker, which gives you support. And moving to the back part of the sneaker, It's dual layer here. The padding and the interior lining is enough. It's not that thick. I wish they would make it thicker, but it didn't have any heel slippage or heel containment issue on this one. There's an outer cup here which is plastic, and there's another plastic internally for heel cupping so that it will give you extra ankle support, at the same time ankle mobility. It's a low cut sneaker, but the tongue is really high. If you watch in my b-roll, I was wearing an ankle sock, so I wouldn't suggest that because I just did that for the b-roll, because this will shave your legs when you're wearing a really low sock. So I would suggest wear a mid to the high socks for the JB, because look how long the tongue is on the JB, and it's not well padded at the back. It just has this felt light fabric that will give you a little bit of support, and comfort level won't be that great because when you start sweating and you're wearing a low cut socks, this will really shave your skin until you have some burns on that area, which will be uncomfortable. As for the insole, it's a very nice insole. I think this is also made out of boom, but a very thin kind of boom, and you can see there's some textures to the forefoot part which gives friction to the sneaker and a little more plush feel on the forefoot. You can see it picking here. That black part are extra cushion, and there are holes for perforation for extra ventilation on the midfoot and forefoot. The smaller holes here in the forefoot part. And as for the strobo, it's a fabric but it's very thin, and when you're pressing it you can easily feel the full length boom cushion of the JB2. And as for the JB2's boom cushion, it's not that thick, so you're playing really low to the ground, but what's nice about it is you can feel the bounce back even though it's a really thin slab of boom, so you're not sacrificing court feel but still having a bounciness and good impact protection. I would not say it's excellent because it's really thin, but on the heel part, the boom on the heel is enough. So if you're a light player and, like I said, a finesse player, you don't hit the ground that hard, I mean the JB2 will be perfect for you. But if you're a bigger player, and right now for me, because the first time I wore the JB2, I'm still recovering from my leg injury and I could feel the ground a bit more, and I would say I'm about the average weight. I'm not too heavy, I'm not light too, but I could feel the ground on the JB2. So if you want more cushion, the JB2 won't be for you. If you want more cushion, the JB2 is not for you. You should look somewhere else. I would say the experience of the JB2's cushion is kind of similar to the GT Cut 3, which has a very nice bounce back feel for a very close to the ground cushion setup. So if you want that very springy, bouncy feel, the JB2 is perfect for you, especially when you're running up and down the floor, which you can also experience on the JB1 because of the almost full length carbon fiber plate, which is peeking through here. And if you run with this, it's really springy and it gives you a ton of energy return on the JB2 when you're putting some energy on the sneaker, especially when you're running up and down the floor or getting a rebound off the JB2. So you would really like that on the JB2, and I would say this is really for a very fast guard, very like a light big, which is kind of skinny. There's a lot of forwards now that are very springy and very light on their feet. I would say the JB2 will be perfect for them. Now let's get on to the traction of the JB2. So the JB2 has this half traction material difference because on the front end of the traction, it is made out of rubber, which is kind of thin. There's not much depth to it, which is kind of surprising because on the ones you could feel that there's more depth to it, but this one's a little bit more flat. And I would say The feeling on the traction of the JB2 is kind of similar to the Curry's, especially if you're playing indoors. It grips really, really nicely and it stops on the dime, but at the same time, there's no squeak to it. So watch out for that. You will really stop right on the dot. But on the dusty floor with the JB2, the traction doesn't respond as good as on a clean court because I could feel a little bit of slip and there's no sound of squeakiness, so you wouldn't notice if you're really gripping. So I was kind of cautious when I was stepping on the JB2 because I was kind of very cautious that I might slip, especially I have a leg injury right now. So I would settle for another sneaker or another traction pattern on a dusty floor because I played with this 2 times on the dusty floor and 1 time on a clean court, and the clean court was immaculate and it really responded well, while on a dusty floor it's still good but not as good, and I don't feel that secure. And as for the heel part, you could see that it's made out of foam. So now heel to toe transition is like the JB1, which is a very good heel to toe transition. Nice curve on the heel, nice curve on the forefoot, and of course the carbon fiber will also propel you really nicely when you're running up and down the floor. As for the weight of the JB2 on the US 11, it is 419, so it's on the lighter side for my size, and I really like the design of it. The price for this unfortunately is quite high, but there's some sales ongoing. I got mine over at Lazada, but make sure you get it from a reliable and trusted source so that you won't get a knockoff or a reject, in my opinion, because there's a lot of people selling some leaning sneakers over at Lazada, but not all of them are authentic, so watch out for that. So this is priced actually at $300, but I got it at around $190 because it's on sale. As for the sizing, go true to size if you're a regular footer, and if you're a wide footer, if you can go half a size up, it will be good. But I think for my size for this one, because there's a lot of toe space in the forefoot for this, so I think for wide footers you can also go true to size with this. So it's kind of like weird sizing on the JB2 because it's very, very loose on the forefoot, given that the material is thinner and it's more flimsy. So comparing it to the JB1, which has a more structured forefoot material, so you really need to go half size up on the JB1. But on the JB2, I think you could get away with the true to size if you're a wide footer. You're not so wide, but if you're really on the wide foot part, I would recommend go half a size up. So let me know what you think about the JB2, guys. Do you like them? And have you played with the JB1 and the JB2? Hit me a comment down below. This is with MARKCHES. Once again, thank you for dropping by the channel. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.